I think as soon as you start the meeting, you let me in, right?
I do, but it would be funny if I didn't.
Yeah, that would be funny. No, it always says that you haven't started the meeting yet.
Okay.
And I'm like, it's like 10 minutes after Craig said we were going to have the meeting. What the hell?
I was thinking about Pat G's question for 10 minutes.
I reported it.
To HR.
Yeah. Do for a win, HR. What a shoddy job you're doing.
My performance review is going to be quite bad.
Not like me, who does an excellent job.
Hey, it's the difference in the job descriptions. You have to live up to your job description.
That's right.
Our annual goals are very different.
Yeah. Howdy, it's Friday, January 9th, 2026, and this is episode 270 of Due for a Win, the Atlantic City podcast. I'm Kyle Eskin, joined, as always, by Craig Stone. What's good, Craig?
I scored some Pokemon.
You could have just... I scored.
On the Pokemon Center.
Didn't know if it's about your personal life, maybe your hockey team, you know?
Oh, man. We played a playoff game the other night.
You did not score?
My first 3 shifts, the other team scored, and I was directly involved in all 3 goals,
Ooh.
And then we lost like 9-3. It was real bad.
I hear that you don't have a good plus-minus then.
No.
That's not how you get re-signed?
No, it was a quit-the-team kind of performance, but that was bad. What's good is that new Pokemon stuff went up on the Pokemon Center website, and I actually got some. I sat in the queue.
Oh,
I didn't get labeled as a bot like I did last time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be rich on Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes soon. And by soon, I mean March.
Are you so jealous that I've been to several Pokemon Center actual stores?
I am incredibly jealous.
Yeah. No, it's good.
I have a lot to say about Pokemon, but I don't think that needs to go in the podcast.
No, absolutely not.
And other TCGs, even.
Truly, no one cares about that. Especially me, even though at one time I did care about TCGs.
Everybody hates Magic now is the main thing that you need to know.
Is it true? I don't know.
Moving on. Would you rather? We're going to save Would You Rather for later, which we did once before, and I think it was a mess, but we're going to try it again.
All right, good.
Because we have a listener sent Would You Rather related to a mailbag question.
So the only thing, when I did check the agenda before, there was an inkling that there could be Always Once Never, but I guess that's gone away.
No, I scrapped that. We're going to save that one for later.
It was a good message that I sent you related to Always Once Never. Yeah.
It was good. I need to think about it a little longer.
So Sal, we saw your message. Thank you very much. I thought it was very funny, and maybe we'll integrate it at some point.
We will. Look forward to the triumphant return of Always Once Never at some point. Episode 300.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
So we have huge news.
Truly the biggest news.
I think all 3 of these news items, I think, are kind of large, but
2 of them are.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
1 is a whatever.
Always Once Never, these 3 news items.
Yeah. The AC Expressway is going in the ocean.
Okay, what do you got?
All right, so the Irish pub is closing temporarily. This is according to the Irish pub and a bunch of other people.
As reliable a source as you can
Right.
get. The Irish pub.
Well, I think what happened is that it just closed one day or whatever, and no one knew what was going on, and everyone's like, oh shit, the Irish pub went out of business.
Well,
and
so actually, the start of the rumor, as far as I can tell, was in the Everything AC Facebook group, where somebody, before it closed, posted that the employees were saying that it was closing after New Year's, and they didn't know if or when it would reopen. And so then there was all this speculation, like, Irish pub is dead, it's closing, blah, blah, blah. And then a few days later, Jeff from New York posted, I'll never be able to pronounce New York, by the way.
New York.
That's the way I should do it, because it's easier to do that than just try to say it like normal.
No, you can't say it in normal voice. Absolutely not.
It's very hard.
That is, by the way, a throwback to our high school where everyone would just walk around when we were underclassmen, like the seniors would just walk around yelling New York over and over again.
Why?
Just like that.
You were in Baltimore County, Maryland.
It was like the 6-7 of, 1998. Yeah.
6-7.
But in high school, not elementary school.
Awesome. Yeah, so he posted on Facebook that they're closing for several weeks for needed reservations. Renovations.
Reservation only?
Yeah.
You cannot go to the Irish pub without going to Open Table first? No, go ahead.
Yeah, they're closing for several weeks for needed renovations, and that they plan to reopen well before St. Patrick's Day. And then they did close right after New Year's, and they posted on Facebook, the only thing in the post was, wishing all our Irish pub friends a very happy new year. We are closed for renovations and we'll keep you posted. That's it. That's all they said. So I don't know about you, but when I see a restaurant, say in New York City, that is closed, quote, for renovations, I always just assume it's never reopening. Mm-hmm. I think Irish Pub will be back. I don't think that this is a permanent closure. I mean, they've been open 24/7 for years and years and years. So I believe that it needs some renovations. Harry Hurley posted on WPG Talk Radio that part of the reasoning was for a deep cleaning along with the renovations. And
it's probably necessary.
But believe that 100%. So yeah. I'm interested to see if it will look any different at all when it does reopen. We have a question about this later. Actually, let's just jump straight to the question and scratch that one off the list. Pat G asks, I saw the Irish pub will be temporarily closed for renovations. Will this interrupt you staying there in 2026?
I seriously doubt it, given that we've talked about, I think Craig specifically, staying there for probably the entire run of the podcast. Yes. And it hasn't happened yet. So I think the odds that it interrupts this happening is near zero, because I'm very doubtful that it was actually going to, happen in February of 2026. But who knows?
The hotel's only open in the summer.
Oh, there you go. So no, it will not interrupt anything.
I would say maybe they're doing something to update the rooms in the hotel.
I doubt it.
Inn,
yeah.
But the inn is closed every winter anyway, so they've got plenty of opportunity to make those updates. So I would be shocked if anything changes there.
What do you think about reservations? Damn it, you did it to me. Renovations at the Irish pub.
Like, am I so nostalgic for it that I don't want it to change even one bit?
Kind of.
I can't imagine they're going to do much to change the look and feel of the place. I'm going to guess it needs some structural work.
Yeah. I mean, I think Eleanor was telling us when she said her and Bill stayed there for their wedding night. I'm pretty sure it was her that, like, their door didn't exactly close all the way, or there's some problem with the door just having to do with the structure.
And the floor was super slanted? Yep.
Yeah. So I would believe that.
Yep.
If they did change the downstairs, I wouldn't think it would be a bad thing. I go to Irish pub, so, like, in some way, it seems like I maybe like it more than you, just given that I go so much more often than you do. But, like, I don't like the way it looks at all, so I think it would be good if they did some work downstairs, too, and made it look a bit different. You seem quite nostalgic, or you just like the feel of the Irish pub now, but that's just my impression, so you can defend yourself if you want.
I like it. I like the way it feels just very old and unique, and there's nothing else like it. It would be very sad if it opened up and it looked like Docks or something.
I don't think that's going to happen, but yeah.
I don't think that's possible, but, even if it reopened and it was really nice inside, right, but it just felt kind of generic, I wouldn't want that. And I feel it's like a much smaller scale of the renovations at, say, themed casinos in Vegas, right? Like, that would be very disappointing. Like, if it's just, now it's just the generic bar.
Can you imagine what would happen if they took out all the animatronics and stuff from Wild Wild West? Like, how bad that would be, and they closed the Virginia City Buffet?
I can't imagine it, because they would never
They would never do that. Yeah, no.
I think the animatronics were probably very hard to upkeep.
I mean, certainly it seemed that way because they never worked.
Right. Like the Prospector, the various states of the Prospector when you walked into the Wild Wild West from the boardwalk, that thing was just terrifying at one point. It had a stick holding up its head. I mean, it was a mess. I never saw it in its true glory.
Yeah, I don't think you ever really saw it.
Pictures, where it's like kneeling down and actually like trying to get gold.
Panning for gold.
Panning for gold out of the water, yeah. Whereas when I started going, I think it worked a little bit, but it was standing. And then at some point it stopped working and it was standing and its head was drooped, but there was clearly just like a dowel from Home Depot, like holding up its head to keep its head from just completely slumping over. And that looked like a scarecrow that would be somebody's Halloween decorations.
I mean, you say that, and yet every Chuck E. Cheese manages to keep their animatronics working, and they probably make like $100 a day total or something. So
they've stripped out all the animatronics from most Chuck E. Cheeses.
At least when I was a child, the animatronics always worked.
Yeah.
The band.
The Rock of Fire Explosion. They got replaced. The Rock of Fire Explosion got replaced by...
I don't know.
Chuck E. something band. Anyways, that has nothing to do with Atlantic City. You can tell how good a podcast is going by how many times we say anyways to try to move on from something that's totally off topic. We should really have like an anyways counter.
Let's talk a little bit more about Chuck E. Cheese, please.
Okay, when was the last time you were at a Chuck E. Cheese? Do your kids like it? There's one right by you.
There is one in Laurel. I did not take...
That was my Chuck E. Cheese growing up.
Yeah, Timmy went to a birthday party there not too long ago, but Megan took him, unfortunately, and not me. So I think in 2019, I took both my kids to Chuck E. Cheese in Towson for one of the Graff's birthday parties.
How did you like it?
It was fine. Had pizza, had arcade games. I mean, I don't know what more you really want. Like, frankly, I think it's a bit better than the newer, Lucky Snake, Dave & Buster's. Like, it's a bit more classic to me.
No,
but
it's terrible. I like Dave & Buster's. I like Lucky Snake. I remember as a kid loving Chuck E. Cheese and thinking it was like the greatest thing in the world. Chuck E. Cheese had more legit arcade games when we were a kid, for one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I wanted that. I wanted to gamble and get tickets.
I mean, that's the only thing that I think Dave & Buster's and that kind of place has is like gambling games.
Yes, it's true.
You're not playing like The Simpsons there or whatever.
No, it's all
which is terrible.
Gambling games and coin pushers.
Same thing with like there's a main event, which is like another one of those in Columbia where my kids had a party. It's bad. It's like a real bad place.
I remember thinking this is all related to gambling because this is how I became introduced to gambling.
I mean, it is gambling. Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I remember like my dad hated going to Chuck E. Cheese, so we would never go. And I was always like, I'm going to love it when I'm an adult. I'm going to take my kids all the time. I've taken my kids a couple of times. It's a hellscape. It's just a terrible place.
Really? So what makes it bad?
The ones around here are really small and not really well kept up. And it just doesn't have the magic that I remember when I was a kid. Maybe I need to go to the one in Laurel when I'm down there sometime and see if it's anything like I remember it from 35 years ago.
I mean, it's a very old shopping center. It's a very old Chuck E. Cheese.
And as we mentioned in the pre-show, right where George Wallace was shot.
That's right. That is true. Laurel, Maryland.
The thing that Laurel, Maryland is most famous for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't die.
He did not die.
So that's good.
All right. So AC Expressway. Is this the one that you're saying is not the big news?
Yes.
I would also think this is not big news. Let me get into it before I say what. AC Expressway has gone to cashless tolls. So you either need to have your Easy Pass or they're going to scan your license plate and send you a bill. If you don't have the Easy Pass, it's twice as expensive.
Yeah, I mean, that's always how it is.
Right. If you're driving the entire length of the AC Expressway, according to this Asbury Park Press article, it would be $5 with Easy Pass, but $10 without.
I don't think it used to be that expensive.
I mean, I think we pay less. You don't drive the entire length of it, do you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay.
The AC Expressway is not that long. It's like 40 miles or something. But anyway, there's 2 toll booths, right? And I think the first one was slightly more expensive and the second one was slightly cheaper, but I don't remember it being $5 in total.
I think this also did come with a slight toll increase.
Mm-hmm.
I think they said it's 3%, which means it was a very odd number before.
I mean, let me tell you how bad it was back in the old days when you had to have exact change
and
they
my
had, like the baskets and like awful. Just awful.
The Garden State Parkway used to be that, and there's just so frequent tolls too. You'd just be driving and there's like a toll randomly, and then you'd have to throw change in it.
Put your 40 cents in this basket or what? Awful.
It's like, why do I have to do this every 10 miles? Anyways, so cashless tolls is great.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I say this is big news is because I'm always just aghast at how many people don't have Easy Pass and get into the no Easy Pass lane. I'm like, what are you doing with your life? Get an Easy Pass.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like to be tracked, man.
Yeah, I guess.
I remember back in the day, I had a state of Massachusetts Easy Pass because it used to be free. But then Maryland, I think eventually all Easy Pass moved to being actually free. So, but it used to be like $2 a month or $3 a month to have Maryland Easy Pass. And I was like, absolutely not. I will not. So I had a Massachusetts Easy Pass.
You drove to Massachusetts to get it?
No, they'll
mail it to you.
Sent it to you. Yeah, they just mailed it.
Fascinating.
I had no ties to Massachusetts at all, but they were happy to mail me an Easy Pass.
You're now a registered voter in Massachusetts?
Probably. That's why they've been reaching out to me so often for jury duty or something.
You actually owe Massachusetts state taxes now, and you're going to get arrested?
Next time I go to Boston, I'll be arrested, yeah.
So that's that one. The other big news, the W2G jackpot threshold has finally increased from $1,200, a number that was set in 1977 to $2,000 as of January 1st. So you can thank Donald Trump's one big beautiful bill because this was in there. And I don't think people even recognized right away that this was in there. This just sort of like came out later like, hey, here's something random. And then the IRS confirmed like, yeah, this is going up. So that's good.
Yes, I'll thank him for that while paying a bunch more in gambling taxes for my W2Gs because of the change to the law about how to subtract your losses out.
How many W2Gs have you gotten in your life?
0.
Yeah, I've gotten one.
Never gotten a WTG.
And my one, I still would have gotten one on this because I had a $2,500 progressive.
Yeah.
Man, it's been a long time since I've had any real winnings on any game. I had a pretty big win on Buffalo, I think, at some point. That was probably also years ago. So the $1,200 threshold, as I said, set in 1977. I went to the Bureau of Labor Statistics inflation calculator, and they say that that is $6,650 in today's dollars. So not as big an increase maybe as it should have been. I think still $2,000, if you're in like a high limit slot room, you probably need an attendant standing right next to you to crank out WTGs as you hit some random line hit every few spins. But this is a big help, I think, for video poker players.
100%. I mean, I think this opens up, for me at least, like I would never play a $5 machine because a straight flush would be a hand pay before, but it isn't anymore. So that's nice, I guess.
So you're $20 a spin now is what I'm hearing? $25?
25.
A spin? Wow.
Maybe. It's more of a possibility. I just didn't want to have to deal with it. I guess technically what? Well, $2,000. Unfortunately, I guess 50 cents is going to exactly be...
Yeah, $2,000 royal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Needs to be $2,000 and 1 cent should be the hand pay.
It really should.
Yeah.
It should be a slightly off number, right? Like it should be over $2,000, not $2,000.
I mean, there are very few 50-cent machines around. I mean, I guess you can set the machines to 50 cents, but...
Yeah, there's some. I don't know if I've ever played a 50-cent machine, so I can't really talk about that.
Yeah, I don't know if I have either. I would always just either play a quarter or $1 or $2, so...
Yeah. One thing, I think the biggest thing for me that this changes is a lot of the progressives will go over 1,200, and then it's like, oh, I don't want to play this with the progressive jackpot at 1,205 or something.
Right.
But now it doesn't matter. I think some of them will just stop at 11.99, right?
I don't know.
So I haven't actually seen that in a long time, now that I think about it. That may not be a thing anymore. If it is, they need to fix it. So that's the 3 giant news items. Arguably bigger than all of those is data from November of 2025, which feels foolish to talk about because it is January 9th, 2026, as you said, after the word howdy.
It's not that late. December data is not even out yet.
That's true.
I feel like we've been multiple months behind in the past.
We have. So. We've done 2 months of data in one episode before, so
yeah.
This is totally fine. Ignore when this episode will get posted.
That's true. The data will surely be up by then.
We have to clarify something that Sal said in his comment that no one has seen because we didn't mention it. 5 weekend month.
5 weekend month
is on here. So
it's an always.
November 2025 is a 5 weekend month, but 4 Fridays. November 2024 was 5 Fridays and Saturdays, but 4 Sundays. So before we get into the data, do you think the extra Friday is better or is the extra Sunday better?
I bet it's pretty close. I would say slight edge maybe to Friday, but I don't know this. I feel like my assumption always has been that these days are casino days, which are from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Oh, yeah, I bet you're right.
I don't know that for a fact, but that's just my assumption because I believe that all casino days pretty much everywhere are 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. I would think that people playing late at night on Friday, especially if it's 6 a.m. to 6 a.m., probably makes up for people who are still just kind of hanging around Sunday morning before they go home. But yeah. I bet it's close. I bet it's close between the two.
I would say slight edge to Friday. I will also say this in practice doesn't matter at all. It's not like the casino's like, oh shit, there's one less Saturday this month. It's not like the Saturday's just erased from the world.
It's erased. Yeah. Sorry. 1 day weekend.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 1 day weekend. Giant snowstorm is what makes a 1 day weekend, actually.
Giant snowstorm is what makes like 4 day weekends.
Yeah, but people aren't going to AC during those 4 day weekends.
Yeah.
I did once have a snow day on a Friday and get to go to AC earlier because of it, and it was great.
Zach and I certainly went to AC once during a big snowstorm, so it was pretty empty, I have to say.
I love being out on the boardwalk in the snow. It's fantastic. Back to data.
Mm-hmm.
Up 5.75% year over year. 4 of the 9 casinos up. Borgata doing so much of the heavy lifting. Up 25%, putting up a balmy summer-like $72 million.
Yeah.
This is just nuts. Like, I feel like every month we're like, wow, Borgata, look at that number.
Their luck was quite good as well.
Yeah, it had to be.
Yeah.
Ocean up 14%, which seems to be just par for the course for them. Hard Rock 2.25%. Harrah's the other casino up at 0.1%, so I don't know that you can even call that up.
Oh, it's up. Stonks up.
In the green. Bally's, with 10.7 million, fell behind Golden Nugget at 10.9 million. But both of those casinos actually did a lot better than they did in October, where Golden Nugget was under $10 million. So, I don't know.
Golden Nugget's luck was also quite good, I believe.
Well, I guess that makes sense considering that they were under $10 million last month. Caesars, with an absolute disaster class, down 24%, $12.5 million. And the thing that jumped out to me about that is Resorts, who also had a bad month, down 14%, was only $450,000 away from Caesars' super shitty $12.5 million month.
Caesars' month isn't representative. It was luck. A lot of it was luck.
Right, I assumed that. But if you just look at this month and you don't look at the luck, like Caesars is dragged into this like Bally's.
Yeah, no.
Resorts
right.
too.
I mean, I've been on the record of the podcast being like, Caesars is a bad casino. You shouldn't go there. It's not a nice place. Which, I mean, I know you've disagreed with for quite a while, but
I feel like we used to be the opposite. I feel like it used to be you defending it and me being like, they need to update it. It sucks.
It's changed, yeah, 100%, where I'm just like, you shouldn't go. I mean, I know last trip when we went, and I'm like, I just do not care about no playing Caesars because I just don't give a shit about them, and you were taken aback. Couldn't believe the words you were hearing.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about the data? Because I think that feeds directly into some of the stuff I want to talk about with Pat G's question.
Good month overall.
It was a good month overall.
I mean, I think Resorts being down so much is also, I think their month last year was quite unrepresentative. Like, it
good luck.
Looks like they had preposterous luck in 2024 in November. So, I mean, it's a good month overall. Obviously, Borgata, as always, is just absolute gangbusters. Yeah. So,
shaping up to be a pretty good year overall, too.
Yeah, certainly Q4 seems like it's going incredibly well for the casinos. So,
yeah, I mean, I was just thinking we should be up.
Yeah, we'll be up for the
almost year. $100 million for the year. Maybe 80.
Yeah, not quite 100, I don't think. It'll be like 2.9-ish.
Yeah. So that actually, I think, goes straight into a long question we got from mailbag legend Pat G, who has a lot of lead up to this question. And he said, I was looking at your AC casino revenue data yesterday and couldn't wrap my head around how much the revenue for certain properties has changed when comparing the first full year you have in the spreadsheet, 2012, to the most recent published full year, 2024. Borgata was number one in both years, but increased to $738 million from $612 million and increased 600 basis points as a percentage of total casino revenue. So 20 to 26%. So he's looking at how much of the market share basically of Atlantic City Borgata has, like how much of the total Atlantic City gambling revenue each casino is getting. He said, I really like playing at Borgata and see why others would like it too, but for a non-boardwalk property to grow so much is impressive. This includes an ownership change, which can sometimes be damaging. Harrah's, another marina property, is in the exact opposite direction. $399 million in 2012 declined to $223 million in 2024, going from 13% of total casino revenue in 2012 to 8% in 2024. So a 500 basis points decline. So the basis points he's talking about is just like 0.1%, right? 100th of a percent?
100th, yeah.
100th of a percent. Resorts is the one I was really surprised by as the locals casino and originating property. I was pleasantly surprised to see their improvement. I always have to visit resorts at least once when I'm on an AC trip. There's just something about it. But the numbers, $130 million in 2012 or 4% of the total to $161 million in 2024 or 6% of the total. So a 200 basis points increase. So with that preamble, can you and Kyle please comment on your perspective of what happened to the three casinos over time that contributed to their performance?
I mean, I think a lot of it is, well, speaking specifically about resorts, like I don't think it's really possible anymore for a casino to be quite that low in terms of the percentage of total, just because there's a lot fewer casinos now than there was back then. So I think that's a big deal for resorts. My sense is resorts is clearly financially much better than the bottom two properties.
I agree.
They're not going anywhere, I don't think, anytime soon. Unlike, Bally's, I don't think is going to go anywhere either. Golden Nugget, like, a bit more up in the air.
I'm more worried about Bally's than you are. And I said that, I think, on the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
You hint at the big thing, which is the difference in number of casinos. And I have a lot of thoughts for sure about the individual players here, the casinos and the companies that own them. But if you're just looking at the state of Atlantic City in 2012 versus 2024, which is what he was looking at. 2012, there were 12 casinos. Now there's only 9. 5 of the 9 casinos now are doing pretty poorly, right? So you have 3 casinos with a ton of the market share, Borgata, Hard Rock, and Ocean. And then Resorts is sort of the other casino who's hanging out, doing okay, while the other 5 casinos are doing really bad, including one of the giant players, Caesars, who I think in 2012 was doing very well and had 4 casinos doing very well, and now has 3 casinos that they're kind of running into the ground.
I don't know if I would say that Showboat was doing very well, but the other 3 Caesars casinos were good.
Right, yeah, Showboat was always kind of a straggler.
But yeah, Bally, Caesars, and Harrah's were probably doing fine.
But yeah, just as a matter of like, we haven't seen a huge decline. Well, we have at points seen a huge decline from 2012's $3.05 billion total revenue. And I think last year it was 2024 ended up at $2.81, $2.82 billion. So it's a couple $100 million down, which is big, but not massive. Not as big as it had been in like the darker times of, 2020, 14, 15. So the pie has not shrank by 25%, whereas the casinos, there's 25% fewer casinos. So that money's going to Borgata, Hard Rock, Ocean,
yeah.
And then Resorts, I think probably is mostly just staying the same, right?
Yeah, certainly I'll say right now, Atlantic City is way more top heavy. Like the top 3 dominate the financial returns in a way that they certainly didn't in 2012. It's just the way things have gone. They're just haves and have-nots to an extent that there hasn't been in the past in Atlantic City. Harrah's specifically, like when I think of 2012, Harrah's was a very nice place to stay and to play, and it is just not right now. That's probably the biggest thing. I'm on record, like Harrah's, I think, is, along with Golden Nugget, the least pleasant places to like be at in Atlantic City, and I don't really enjoy my time there. And I know you disagree with me, but
they both have the same issues of just not having enough besides the gambling to draw you in.
Right.
And I think Golden Nugget especially doesn't have enough, including the gambling, to draw you in.
I mean,
it's not a big casino either.
I enjoy gambling at Golden Nugget.
I do too.
Quite a bit. It just doesn't have the other stuff, especially given our issues finding food after 10 p.m. last time we were there, which also is maybe not quite to the same extent, but Harrah's has also some issues with getting food on property or whatever.
I'll say Golden Nugget has very few restaurants total. Mm-hmm. And very little that's casual or quick. It's pretty much just Bill's Bar and Burger and the coffee shop.
It just blows my mind that there's not 24-hour diners at every casino like there used to be. It like absolutely blows my mind. It just cannot cost very much to run, a place that can make an omelet and like a French toast 24 hours a day.
I know.
And like a coffee.
Even if it loses a little bit of money.
Right.
Which it probably does. You owe it to me. I'm sorry, like if you want me to be there at 2 a.m. gambling, that is the cost of doing business. And they clearly are just looking at things segmented out. Like this loses money, let's get rid of it. Not thinking about the cost of the gambling revenue that we're talking about right now.
And I'm not even a person who like, I don't know, sort of, you screwed me over, I'll never come back to your casino. Right. But literally, I don't want to play at Golden Nugget because they don't have restaurants open at 10 p.m. It's absolutely insane.
Right. I mean, Harrah's had the same issue, to be fair. I mean, the only thing open was Buddy's Boardwalk Empire. I would actually say, despite the few restaurants at Golden Nugget right now, they've got Dos Caminos. We liked our breakfast at Michael Patrick's Brasserie. They've got the Asian place, which I've never actually tried, but how bad can an Asian place be? I like Bill's Bar and Burger. Vic and Anthony's is supposed to be really good. Is there a restaurant that I would be excited to eat at Harrah's? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I mean, they've certainly got more places. I just can't think of anything where I'm like, yeah, let me go out of my way to go to Harrah's for a restaurant.
No, I mean, I'm on the record as being a particular hater of McCormick and Schmick. A lot of people I understand like it quite a lot.
It's very mad to me. It's a very generic restaurant.
I heard, and we tried to go several times when they had that Veracruz restaurant, that it was very good, but that's gone now.
Right.
Certainly the place we used one of my or your Diamond Celebration dinners at, the seafood place, was quite mediocre.
And it's gone.
No, there's nowhere I want to eat at Harrah's. And there are, like you said, there are places I would want to eat at Golden Nugget.
Yeah, I mean, there's Gordon Ramsay steak now. I don't care anything about that.
No, that's...
Like, if I'm going to go to a steakhouse and spend that kind of money, there are 25 other restaurants I'd rather go to.
Right.
Including just getting way more value for probably a better restaurant at some place like Satara or...
Yeah, 100%.
Docks.
I mean, I'm also on the record as being a bit out there and saying I do not like the Gordon Ramsay pub or whatever it is at the Caesars in the walkway from the hotel lobby. So
I don't like the vibe of it just being off the walkway. The food is also pretty meh.
It's all right. It's just like way too expensive for what it is. It's really in a bad location, as much fun as it is to like sit out overlooking people walking to their hotel room or whatever. But
yeah. So I have to walk back a little bit of something I said, like, well, resorts is just kind of stagnant while there are fewer people eating the pie. 9 casinos. Mm-hmm. Their revenue's up 20% over that time, which is not incredible for a 12-year span, but it is up. It's not like they're, they made the same amount of money.
And like they're doing stuff. Is it the most interesting stuff? Like whatever, they change their casino bar like every 2 months to have some new theme, which takes them probably like 1 hour of one guy to like hang some stuff up, but it's something.
I think they were also in pretty rough shape around when we started going. Like 2009, 10, 11, 12, I think they were doing pretty bad. I mean,
that was not a good place to be, and this was coming from someone who loved the ACH or, the Hilton or whatever you want to call it. So for me to say that resorts was not a great place to be is really saying something.
Yeah. And at one point, they tried to change the whole vibe and make it 20s themed. It was really dark in there. They had the waitresses in like flapper dresses and stuff.
Yes.
And that just kind of didn't go well, I don't think. And then they changed back. And I think they've done a lot of things right since then.
No, I mean, Capriccio's is very well regarded. Doherty's is very good.
Resorts, dining.
We certainly had a very pleasant experience at Mukashi.
Capriccio Brunch is supposed to be really good. Breadsticks has surprisingly good breakfast.
Dunkin' Donuts takes points.
Right. Doherty's.
I've been to Eastwind and it's been very good also.
Like, I'm way more likely to, it's all on the boardwalk too, so it's convenient, but I would go out of my way to go to resorts, to go to Doherty's. And there are not a whole lot of casino restaurants I would say that for.
Yeah.
It's worth the trip. For the happy hour, especially.
I think that, Gilchrist and Trop, I don't know, what else is there really?
So, one thing we haven't touched on in this whole conversation is Borgata and their improvement, which I think when they moved to MGM, the general consensus was MGM's going to screw this up.
Yep.
Everybody's going to hate it.
Yep.
And instead, it's just done nothing but crush. So,
well, except for the end of last year where they made $0 because
they had
their IT problems.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing very well. And I think a lot of people complain about the change to MGM. I mean, you hear it way more with Vegas, the Cosmo change. Like, people really loved Cosmo. I think there's a lot of parallels of, taking a beloved property that's mostly sort of on its own. I know Borgata was owned by Boyd and MGM, really. But in AC, it was just its own thing. And putting it into this MGM ecosystem. But they've also treated that property sort of like a flagship. They've really done a lot. The sportsbook is a huge upgrade. They've redone the whole marketplace downstairs for better or for worse. I think it certainly looks nicer down there. They've updated a lot of restaurants. I think a lot of those changes have been negative. But yeah, I mean, they're clearly doing a lot. They're changing around the space. They're really actively trying to do it. The MGM Tower, the whole renovation of that MGM Tower is amazing. So they're putting money into the property, which is, I think, more than you can say for any of the Caesars properties. I think that's the big thing that they've done, and that's why they've kept gaining revenue.
Yeah.
And again, fewer casinos trying to take from the pie, and they're still the dominant force. So they're getting a lot of that revenue from the casinos that have closed. Mm-hmm. I say 10 years after the last casino closure, 11 years after the last casino.
We both say it's the best casino in AC, right?
So out of this, Pat has a would you rather. So here is your end of the episode would you rather, because I don't know if we're going to get to any other mailbag questions.
Okay.
Would you rather have a 2-night trip, but you have to stay at Harrah's and play Pai Gow poker for at least, he says 30 minutes. I'm going to say for at least 2 hours, because I think 30 minutes is too short.
2 hours is probably too long. How about 1 hour?
1 hour. You have to play Pai Gow poker for at least 1 hour each day, or you have a 1-night stay at Borgata with no gambling restrictions. So I'm guessing the positives are 2-night stay.
Yep.
With the negative being Harrah's and having to play Pai Gow poker. I don't think that's a negative for you.
It's not really a negative. I mean, I think it's more of a negative for you.
Yeah, I mean, 30 minutes, whatever. But
I played plenty of Pai Gow poker when I was in Vegas just this last time. It's totally fine. I mean, it's not interesting in any way, but it's a slow burn. It's pleasant. You just get beer.
Yeah. I think you can basically strip out the Pai Gow poker thing. I don't care that much about it. An hour each time might be tough.
Noted table game hater Craig Stone says he doesn't care about it.
Pai Gow poker, though, it's so slow. It's so many pushes.
If you recall, when I'm wide open table, Pai Gow poker at the Ballets, and you're like, I absolutely cannot.
I think you're right. I think if I went into a trip knowing I had a 2-night trip and I had to play an hour a day of table games,
2 hours of Pai Gow poker,
it would really stress me out, because I think I would be really worried about bankroll.
Yeah.
And that's crazy to say.
About Pai Gow Poker, right.
But that's just where I'm at right now with gambling. I just don't want to budget that much money toward it. Mm-hmm. So, I try to sort of strip it out and say, it doesn't really matter, and I want to focus more on the Harrah's side of it. But no, I think that would be a pretty big negative. I think 2 nights in Harrah's, I want the 2-night trip, but I don't know that I want the 2-night trip where I'm staying at Harrah's and then I'm mostly at the marina. I guess I would just go to the boardwalk side each day during the day, and it would be fine.
With your 50 cents you have left over after just losing all your money through Pai Gow sessions.
But I think I'm easily picking Borgata here. No gambling restrictions. 1 night at Borgata sounds great.
Yeah.
Even if it's the shorter trip. We're mostly doing 1-night trips now anyway.
Right. I think it depends. If it's me or you, me and you, probably 1 night at Borgata's fine. Frankly, if you wanted to stay 2 nights, I would still rather do the 2 nights at Harrah's, I guess. I am a noted Harrah's hater, but yeah, playing Pai Gow for an hour each day is absolutely, I'm completely neutral to it. Or frankly, slight positive if I knew you had to play with me for that hour. Yeah, getting an extra night, playing an hour a day at Harrah's it's fine, and then we can go to the boardwalk. And certainly if it's more people coming, if it's going to be 5 people, yeah, much rather do 2 nights. So
yeah, 2 nights is better with the group for sure.
Yeah, if it's just me by myself, then just go for 1 night at Borg.
So we have a lot more questions in the mailbag. Tom L., we've got some questions from you. We'll get to those maybe next time, if next time is not a best of. And then
Pat G, you got more questions?
Pat sent a bunch of very quick questions, but I don't want to just run through them in 5 seconds, so we'll save those. I think the big question, which you'll probably ask me.
When are we going to AC?
When are we going to AC? So let's talk about that.
All right, let me open up my calendar app. Here we go. Calendar.
I have Thursday, February 12th off, which is a very odd day.
Abraham Lincoln's birthday, right?
Yes, that is why I'm off. The annoying thing about that day, I think for both of us, is it leads into a 4.5-day weekend for my kids. So my kids have a half day the next day, and then they're off for 4 days.
My kids also have a half day the next day, so would you go Wednesday to Thursday?
Right. I could not go Thursday into Friday. And I'm guessing I will be driving somewhere with the whole family on Friday afternoon as soon as they get out of school. Probably Cape Cod. If I was doing this, I would probably take a half day on Wednesday and go Wednesday and then try to get back Thursday afternoon, which seems like kind of a crappy use of my full day.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm only in AC until 2? That's not the best.
Yeah, and certainly today my wife's in the office, so I would either have to do drop-off or pickup.
So you need to be back in time for pickup?
Yeah. Maybe staying Thursday night would be better for me, and just leaving at 8 a.m. on Friday to try to get back for the half day.
We could do, slightly different timelines.
Yeah, that's true. Neither of these is exactly perfect.
Yeah, they're not great. I don't know. We can talk about it more. I still have it in my head. I could go solo, Kyle. Could go solo Wednesday to Thursday.
You can't. I would surely show up at some point.
If I went Wednesday night after work to Thursday.
If you went Wednesday afternoon to Thursday and you were leaving at lunchtime, then perhaps I would not have an opportunity to show up. But
I could probably even stay into Thursday dinner time.
Yeah.
It would just be slightly more annoying for my wife.
Yeah, neither is perfect for me because it's the half day Friday that just kills me.
It sucks. I was all excited, which I feel like happens every time I have this day off. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. You know what's going to end up happening? Wind Creek, Bethlehem.
Yeah.
Go get my $10 dining credit.
I don't know. We'll see. It's certainly possible, but yeah.
Everybody put it on your calendars. Wednesday, February 11th to Friday.
We'll do it. I'm interested. If you're off all day Thursday, I could probably do drop off on Thursday morning and then go up, at least for a day trip, if nothing else, and just get home late Thursday night.
Probably the preferred option for Andrew would be Thursday drop off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just get to AC at noon and then get home super late.
And then do Friday drop off too. Yeah.
But I don't know if I want to do that if I'm going to drive 6 hours on Friday.
Well, you don't know what you're doing on Friday yet, right?
That's true. All right. Well,
yep.
As we do, no plans, no concrete plans. So
good
work, everybody. Happy New Year.
I'm interested, just with some caveats.
Okay, keep that in mind. Peer pressure works, by the way. I got peer pressured to post the episode during Christmas break, and I did it.
Yeah.
I sat down. I ignored my family as they watched Muppet Christmas Carol.
You're welcome, James.
Yeah. So if you want us to make a trip, start with the peer pressure.
Just text Greg or text me, and then I'll text Greg and be like, Table James Games needs you to post this podcast. And you're like, I'll be right on it.
I have to say, in the show, they've gone back to calling him Table Games James. And I think I refuse to abide by that. It's Table James Games forever for me.
All right.
Until he tells me to stop, which then fine. As I said, peer pressure works.
Thank you guys very much for listening. If you want to reach out to us or any of our other listeners, you can do so to our Facebook group at facebook.com/group/DoForAWin. Find all of our great content at DoForAWin.com. Reach out to Craig on Twitter at DoForAWin or me and Kyle Eskin, and send Craig questions to DoForAWin@gmail.com, and we will eventually answer them on air.
We will.
Yep. Wow, that was a great ending of an episode. One of our best, truly.
It was fine. You mean because of just talking about the schedule and not coming up with anything, or?
Any last words, Greg?
Oh, I thought the episode was over. Oh my goodness, here you go. Breaking news from Press of Atlantic City. Years after he sold the former Revel, Glenn Straub still cashes in from cars that park there. This mother who we talked so much shit about is a financial genius.
Yeah,
is he in jail? Didn't he go to jail?
He was in jail for a while, yeah. I think he was like real tight with Donald Trump, so he's probably out of jail now. But
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Drudge drops criminal charges against Glenn Straub. That was in August of 2025.